having a great day. I have an awesome show lined up for you. It is a juicy show. It is a spicy show. You don't want to miss this one. So in just a second, we're going to talk about it. Was the White House Trump era? I wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding. We'll also get to that. We also have Trump crashing out at Norah O'Donnell because she read the shooter's manifesto to his face, and we get some all-time quotes coming from the big guy. Like, I'm telling you, this is going to go in the history books. The shit he said is going to go in the history books, and not in a good way, okay? So we'll dive into that as well. And then later on, Iran keeps humiliating Trump over and over, and he doesn't know what to do about it. And Russell Brand barbecues whatever the hell remained of his credibility to the channel. Episodes. Huge event was happening. Bizarre, weird, I know. But the first time he decides to go to this thing as president, there's an alleged attempted shooting. Now, first let me show you the initial video that went viral. What you're going to see here is this is at the beginning of the event. People are beginning to eat and stuff. Trump is, sitting at the front of the room, and you're going to hear some shots ring out, but it's like kind of distant. And then take note of how long it takes for people to react after hearing the shots. Watch this.
No, this isn't the Mizrahi one. Kyle is counting down the seconds until Trump is escorted out of the room once the shots are fired.
32 seconds until you hear the shots and they grab Trump and pick him up to move him. 32 seconds. Now, people in the audience were reacting, going under tables and whatnot. But before they moved the president, it was 32 seconds. Okay. Very bizarre, very strange. More. So here we have a video of Trump on his way out. He fell right in his face. And the funny thing is he came out and denied this. But like, bro, we literally have it on video. I think they try to like explain it away by saying Melania was crawling out and Trump tried to grab Melania and pull her back up. But no, you're about to see the video here and it looks pretty clear to me. And down. Yeah, he fell.
Oh, he's such a fat ass, dude. It's awesome. Oh, that's so funny. Come on, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah, he fell. He definitely fell there. And by the way, his health is obviously failing him. Between him falling here when they're trying to move him out, not even like super fast, just like at a slightly sped up pace, falls on his face. But also, you'll see this event they did, this speech he gave after this. He looks like death. I mean, his eyes are 90% closed. He can barely get through his sentence. It's hard to watch. Okay, Washington Post says, breaking news. The Trump administration provided a lower level of security for the White House Correspondents' Dinner than it has for other gatherings of high-ranking officials, according to officials familiar with the plan. So, understand something. In the room, we had like the top 5 people in the line of presidential succession, right? Maybe even the top 6. I forget exactly, but like the whole cabinet was there. And they had, let me repeat it, a lower level of security than it had for other gatherings of high-ranking officials. So if everybody in that room was taken out, you know who would have became president? 92-year-old Chuck Grassley, who doesn't know where he is and doesn't know how to write English.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. He's a prolific poster. Kyle, you're disrespecting the GOAT. You're disrespecting the GOAT. He knows where he is. That's why he's posting like a madman all the time.
Just kidding. I'm not kidding. So just a thought there, but insane that you have this high level of a gathering and it's just such a mess and so low level security that something like this could happen. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's literally State of the Union level of administration officials.
More. This is the same hotel outside of which John Hinckley Jr. tried to assassinate President Ronald Reagan in 1981. That is a bizarre fact right there. Okay. This was kind of blew my mind, but there's this guy on Twitter by the name of Chili Dog, and he said, note the date here, April 13th. He said, Trump is going to go for a staged assassination attempt again. Blame it on Iran. I will put a 25% chance on this play. Trump has lost all global respect, such that he had. Allies and enemies alike are laughing at him. So as I pointed out, he said this 12 days before the alleged attempted shooting. That's when this guy said this. That is absolutely bonkers. Okay, so here we have Wolf Blitzer, who got like a front row seat to all this. He got up to go to the bathroom, and then when he was leaving the bathroom, all this mayhem unfolded. So he's going to tell you what he saw. Listen to this.
After they served the appetizers, I walked out to simply go to the men's room, but you have to walk up these stairs and walk out, and which I was doing. And as I was walking back towards the door to get back into the big area where the event was taking place, all of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me. And the next thing I knew, a police officer threw me to the ground and was on top of me. And I was listening and watching what was going on. And apparently they got the gunman who had a major weapon there. But it was so worrisome. The noise was so loud in a small area. And all of a sudden I'm seeing gunshots. And then they grabbed me, the police officers, and they take me back into the men's room where it was safe, and there were about 15 other men who are stuck in there, and they won't let them out. And that's what happened. And then after a while, they let me out, and I'm out now. I'm not back in the ballroom, but everything is apparently closing down. Very scary incident. All of a sudden, a guy with a weapon, and it was a very, very serious weapon, he starts shooting, and I happened to have been a few feet away from him as he was shooting. And of course, the first thing that went through my mind is he trying to shoot me. And I don't think he was trying to shoot me, but I was very close to him as the gunshots were fired. And it was very, very scary, but I'm okay now.
So one of the stories here is
He
that
lost
the guy
his
Cole
shoe.
Allen, who allegedly did the shooting, right? That he was staying in the hotel, he ran down 10 flights of stairs and exited on the same level that the ballroom was where they were having the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and that's when there were shots fired. Now, he didn't fire the shots. It was Secret Service that fired the shots, but none of them hit him, and they ended up just being able to arrest him somehow. Again, I don't know how that all happened, but that's allegedly how it all unfolded. That's one story.
Dude, that's awesome. He's just straight up saying, nope.
The other story
don't
is
believe it.
he reportedly didn't even get to the same floor as the ballroom where they were having the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that they were able to apprehend him before he even got to the proper floor. So I've seen contradictory stories here. One saying he ran down 10 flights of stairs and got to the proper level. Another one that he didn't get to the proper level. But either way, the shots that were heard were not fired from him. They were fired from Secret Service, and somehow they didn't hit him, but they ended up being able to arrest the guy. Okay, this is what we've seen to this.
Are you covering the fact that he's a time traveler? What, is he Dan Bongino? Is he young Dan Bongino?
Point. So kind of weird that you still have contradictory stories when, you know, there was enough people there where this should not be that hard to determine exactly what went down. Okay, so this is kind of crazy, but I'm going to show you, this is a zoomed in version of what we just watched at the beginning here, where apparently some guy's doing like fucking party tricks or magic tricks for Melania Trump and Donald Trump here. This is the guy standing above them and holding something. So let me just play a little bit of this for you so you can see real quick. But he's doing some sort of trick. He's showing, you know, a card that has something written on it. Okay, here's a crazy fact. Ready? The person showing Trump and Melania a magic trick when the attempted assassin was shot is the same guy, Oz Perlman, who hauntingly guessed Joe Rogan's ATM pin while they were live on air.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What does it mean? What does it mean?
The latter felt like a veiled threat at the time. Maybe it's nothing, but it's weird. That is kind of weird, okay? Now here is... You can see this, you know, this screenshot here, this picture here. I don't know if Melania's face is reacting like that because the trick blew her mind, which is possible, or if it's because they already heard the gunshots. But the fact that the magician himself is also making a sort of a scared face leads me to believe this is after the shots ring out. And look at Trump's face and look at Melania's face, okay? Trump's face is literally like that meme of James Franco where he looks at the person next to him and they're about to get hanged and he says, first time? Like, Trump's face looks like that. Like he's calm, like he's relaxed, like he's soaking this in. Melania looks terrified. Trump looks perfectly at ease, okay? Very, very bizarre. Okay, more. So here we have, this is kind of crazy, but you can see this is outside the ballroom in like a little press gathering here. You can see fucking the FBI, the Secret Service, police, the National Guard. You can see them like scrambling. Watch this video. What the
Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Downstairs, left, downstairs. Where? Where's it coming from? Over there. Answer up! Where's it coming from? The crossfire! Look out! Bro, somebody go. Everybody stay down. We got one down. Lean there. Jim!
What the Oh my God.
Stay down, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, stay down. Where's that at? He's inside. They're not inside. Nobody comes in here.
That was literally like the village people of law enforcement, one after the other, after the other, after the other, running in different directions, chaos seemingly, okay? Here is J.D. Vance getting dragged off stage. And what's interesting is he gets dragged off stage and it's still a little bit before they even grab the president. So yet again, so-called protocol here completely and utterly out the window. Watch this. They grab J.D., drag him. Trump is still sitting there. Trump is still sitting there. Look at this. Or is it the protocol? Look at this. And that's where he falls. And then he goes on later to insist that he definitely, positively, without a doubt, did not fall. Okay, this video is kind of wild because there were multiple examples of like different cabinet officials, Stephen Miller, RFK Jr., they end up being dragged out at one point or another. But you're going to see Stephen Miller's like using his wife as a human shield. Okay, RFK Jr. is dragged by his Secret Service agents, and his wife Cheryl Hines is like 5 feet behind, trying to keep up desperately. And look, RFK's going,
wait, do I have a wife? I don't even know if I have a wife. I don't know what you're talking about. I was too busy felching with Olivia Nuzzi to give a shit about my wife. Wait, my wife is with me now? Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Watch, you'll see. Watch this. So there's RFK, there's the Secret Service agents, there's Stephen Miller using his wife. Look, Cheryl Hines way behind. Bro. It's too perfect that in these moments, stuff like this happens. These people are exactly who you think they are, dog. They are exactly who you think they are. Now, here is one of Trump's top goons, Dan Scavino, I think like one of his social media guys, and he's about to find out that all their goofy, like, fight stuff and USA chants, that only works at fucking Trump rallies with a bunch of sheep around you, okay? Here you have a room full of people going, what the fuck? You're doing fake patriotism shit as there's like a threat to our lives? What the fuck is wrong with you? Watch this.
USA! USA! USA!
By the way, that's a little too on the nose because, yes, this is something that can only happen in the USA. The country that has a shooting like every other day, a new shooting. USA. Perhaps that's not something to be proud of. I love the person who tried to get a USA chant going, and then it just like tails off, sadly, because we're like, we're not doing that shit right now, okay? This is not a Trump rally, you dipshit. Okay, ready for this? This is kind of crazy. Please tell me this is not the same worthless agent from Butler, Pennsylvania. So here's one picture, a little bit from a distance here, but clearly a Secret Service agent. And then boom, here's this one from Butler. So one more time.
I mean, that part is not that crazy. I saw this too. I didn't cover it when I was covering all the conspiracies because that one is like the most explainable. Like even if it's the same person, that still wouldn't be, there's a likelihood that it's not the same person, but even if it was, it wouldn't be that strange. Like she's a part of the president's Secret Service security detail.
Here's one, here's another. Now it's possible it's not the same person because the second one here looks a little like they weigh less, but it's also possible this person just gained a little bit of weight. But either way, kind of bizarre. All right, now here's Dana White, the CEO of the UFC, and he made some eyebrow-raising comments, y'all, that you're about to see right here that made a bunch of people go, huh. All right, watch this.
Inside, they started up. All of a sudden, it just started getting noisy. Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns, and they were screaming, "Get down!" I didn't get down. It was awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and it was a pretty crazy, unique experience.
So you were on the aisle. What exactly
We were sitting right in front of the table.
Okay.
Right in front of where the president was.
Yes. And what exactly happened? So someone got tackled or like what?
Nobody got tackled, but guys came in looking for shooters, and they came toward our table. I thought the shooter was over by us or something.
I didn't get down. It was awesome, he said, about what's supposed to be an alleged attempted assassination of the President of the United States of America, his friend. Okay, here's Erica Kirk. Now, Erica Kirk, for those of you who don't remember, there were so many instances after her husband got murked on live TV. There were so many instances where it's like, I think she's supposed to be emotional, and she definitely isn't, right? Why is she acting this weird? Why is she acting this bizarre? Why'd she do this thing? Why'd she do that thing? Why'd she wear those leather pants? Why is she snuggling up to J.D. Vance? Like, why is she snuggling up to Jesse Waters? So many instances of like, wow, you're acting pretty strangely here. Well, here she is after this alleged assassination attempt of Trump, which, by the way, according to some stories, the guy didn't even get to the same floor as where they were having the event, okay? Like, they got his ass, right? Here's Erica Kirk's reaction. Watch the waterworks go.
I just want to go find Suzanne.
Did she just say, I just want to go home while crying?
I just want to go find Suzanne.
Bitch, you ain't been home since Charlie got killed. Your kids don't even recognize you anymore. Well, every time I blink, I see you at a new massive event with the fireworks and the WWE WrestleMania entrance and shit, going to give a speech. Like, I see you all the time running, the TPUSA organization. But
that's
you
crazy.
should be home. Get back home. Like, your kids are going, Mommy, where are you? We miss you. Oh my God. Oh my word. I can't with these people, bro. I can't. This person says, the most performative woman who ever lived. Yes, I think that's fair to say. Okay, how about this one, y'all? Ready? I'm one of the small number of journalists traveling with the White House press pool tonight. We were in a hall just outside the ballroom when the commotion first rang out. Several things happened in quick succession. Tuxedoed agents pulled out guns and began running toward the ballroom. White-jacketed caterers screamed and bolted for stairwells. Pandemonium reigned as top cabinet officials were evacuated. Robert Kennedy Jr. and his wife Cheryl Hines came out and were ushered into an elevator. Then Janine Pirro emerged. The FBI director, Kash Patel, came tearing across the hallway with two men in tow. His girlfriend was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand. Bro got cucked at the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. Bruh. Reporters are about to be taken back into the ballroom. The show will go on, apparently. Now, that last part is not true because the show didn't go on, but All the reports were Trump was demanding that the show go on. Kind of strange, kind of weird that yet another supposed attempt on your life. And you're like, anyway, let's go back out there, bro. I'm ready to stand in front of a room of people where we just had a breach. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? But Kash Patel, dude, I know they're about to fire your ass, but you might have to just resign after this. Like, this dude must have a public humiliation kink, right? He's got to have that fetish because it just had day after day after day. Now, this was eye-opening. Carolyn Levitt to Fox News before the White House Correspondents' Dinner event. This is before the event. Listen to her language here. This is crazy.
It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
There will be some shots fired tonight. Do not tell me that's not spooky as hell. Do not tell me that is not spooky as hell. You are a gaslighter and a half. If you listen to this, you go, oh yeah, you know.
I mean, no, I don't. If you guys want my honest take on this, I don't think Caroline Leavitt was like straight up implying that like actual, gunshots were going to be fired. I think what's even weirder than that, the only thing that's weirder than the Caroline Leavitt thing is Caroline Leavitt's husband, which I'm sure Kyle will get to in a second. Caroline Leavitt's husband telling someone that's in the crowd, be careful, and then Fox News basically shutting off that interview and then never having them back on again. That was weird. None of the other stuff that he's brought up so far is all that strange. It's just funny.
That was, this normal. It's normal to say something like that in a scenario. Bro, come on, man. We're not done yet either. I have more spooky clips for you in just a little bit, by the way. Okay? Now, after this, when Trump goes and gives his, he gives a little speech afterwards, right? Which, by the way, they cut off the playoff game for this, which was annoying. I was watching the NBA playoffs. They cut it off for Trump to babble about how the Dow's doing great with his eyes 90% shut. Just horrible. And then they dragged on and on and on. They switched the game to ESPN eventually from ABC to ESPN, but they didn't tell anybody. So, by the time I realized it was on ESPN, there was like 5 minutes left in the game. Super annoying. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter were like furious. Like, I don't want to listen to this guy babble. The guy didn't even get to the same floor as him. The guy, nobody laid a finger on him. He's fine. And we're on attempt number what, like 6th? It's just another day that ends in Y, okay? When you're committing war crime after war crime after war crime, at some point you got to kind of expect, like, I don't know, maybe I am sort of inviting this into my life, right? So Trump and the White House officials were all smiles and appeared in good spirits at the press conference following the White House Correspondents' Dinner incident. So look at this. All of them smiling as Trump delivers his, sleepy-eyed stand-up routine over here. He barely knows where he is, but he's trying to babble through it, okay? The only person not smiling is Marco Rubio. Everybody else here is seemingly smiling. All right, here's another one. Smiles all around, baby. Smiles all around. Here's another one. Smiley and giggly. Exactly how I would react if somebody just tried to murder me, okay? Here's the Secretary of War Crimes.
Wait, does Kyle not realize that the most damning, most compelling thing that he could point to was not Caroline Leavitt, but Caroline Leavitt's husband? Because he skipped past that. Caroline Leavitt's husband telling someone from Fox News right there, right before the shooting happens, like, oh, you have to be careful. And then Fox News basically shutting off the clip. Oh, he does after this? Okay.
Smiling. A candid shot here where he's smiling. Very strange. Now, within minutes of this alleged attempted shooting, all of the sycophantic MAGA influencer accounts were out there saying the same goddamn thing, y'all. Look at this. Andrew Colvett, this is why President Trump needs to build the White House ballroom. Libs of TikTok, this is why we need Trump's ballroom. Jack Posobiec, thank God President Trump's building a ballroom at the White House. And wokeness, now you know why the left is suing to block Trump's privately funded White House ballroom. Wall Street Mav, we need the White House ballroom. Meghan McCain, I don't want to hear one more fucking criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. By the way, this isn't even a comprehensive list. More MAGA influencers than this came out and said it. Why? Because they're all in a group chat, okay? So Matt Royer says, Ashley St. Clair, former MAGA person, confirmed the White House runs group chats telling these accounts what to post. Within minutes of shots fired tonight, before there was any news of casualties, and before the president said this exact talking point, this was the chat in real time. So ladies and gentlemen, you're supposed to believe that within minutes of shots being fired, that, it's a perfectly normal and reasonable reaction to immediately use this to try to shoehorn in the issue you care most about, Trump cares most about, which is building that ballroom, that illegal ballroom, by the way, which he got no approval for whatsoever, and it's a massive, pay-to-play corruption scheme with the Epstein class and the billionaires, right? But literally within minutes of that happening, that's weird, bro. That's strange, bro. That's not something a normal person does, okay? All right, more. So also, very soon after the attempted shooting, Trump posts a picture of the guy. He posts this picture. With an active investigation going on, he posts this picture of the guy on the carpet. This is Cole Allen, the alleged attempted shooter. Okay, let me give you more. Stephen Nelson says, I received a copy of Cole.
This also is unique because you're not supposed to reveal this information. It's only prosecutors that are supposed to reveal this information when there's an active case. Like in Butler, Pennsylvania, you could say it. Trump could reveal everything about Butler, Pennsylvania because the guy was dead. But in this case, the suspect is alive. Oh, never mind, which is what my own father and other people told me recently. He was expressing this concern for my safety. I was going to say before I lost my signal. Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Allen's anti-Trump manifesto, which a U.S. official says he sent his family members about 10 minutes before the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting last night. So we're supposed to believe 10 minutes before he sprints through security with a shotgun or tries to do that, okay? That's when he sent his manifesto, okay? By the way, in the manifesto as well, it also says, like, if you're reading this, I'm probably in the hospital right now, or like something to that effect. You're telling me he was trying to go assassinate the president and he knew somehow, oh, I'm going to survive this and they're going to take me to the hospital? Guys, again, like if it was one of these things or two of these things or even three of these things, I understand people being like, well, Occam's razor, it's, you know, the shit happened, but some wacky stuff occurred too. But as you're going to see here, it's one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. All right, more. Here we go. Here we have the Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbreath, and take a good look at his face here, his jaw here as he walks by. Watch. Look at the jaw. Look at it. One more time. One more time. Here we go. Look at the jaw. Ready? Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So Hassan says, holy shit, look at his jaw. The man is zooted, okay? Seth Harp, who wrote this great book called The Fort Bragg Cartel, which you should definitely check out, is about how special ops are basically like all in a criminal gang. It's all a criminal cartel. Seth Harp says, I have been saying for more than a year that everyone at the top of the U.S. war machine is coked to the gills and also geeked up on modafinil, which is another upper, and Dex. But mainstream opinion is still basically unaware of this disturbing reality. So the Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbreath, also along with Kash Patel, right? Also along with Trump, with old videos of him sniffing, just like Kash Patel, sniffing. That's a sign of snorting an upper, ladies and gentlemen. That's a sign. When you move your jaw like that, that's a sign of cocaine use or meth use or Adderall use. Honestly, it's probably stronger than Adderall when you're jawing that aggressively, right? But they are high as balls, dog. They are. This is a group of degenerates and freaks is what it is. All right, more. Soon after the attempted shooting, Trump somehow gets the security footage and posts it. Again, in the middle of an active investigation, as Adam Cochran says. So the Secret Service and FBI just happened to release the footage to the president during an active investigation, and he felt the need to post it because. So here's the super grainy footage of what appears to be here, him trying to sprint through security. Watch this. Standing around. Look at this. Look at this Acme ass, Looney Tunes ass shit. No shot. You got all these guys standing around. It's almost like it's the stereotype of like, you know, a fat cop eating a donut, right? Standing there. And then fucking this guy comes sprinting through like Usain Bolt. Look at this. Then they grab the gun. They fire. By the way, again, they take so many shots. None of them hit him, but they still apprehend him somehow. Okay. Okay. Now, the MAGA influencers were also spreading an AI image of this incident, okay? They used AI to try to juice up the image. And as you're about to see here, this is goofy in so many ways. See how this agent is wearing a hat? He's going to turn to shoot, and he's going to no longer have a hat. I also like how the text on the back of this jacket of this law enforcement official says, E-L-I-D? Eli? Oh, no shot. By the way, this is what they want to take your job, too, by the way. They want AI to steal everybody's job, and this is what AI delivers for you. Ready? Watch this. Here we go. So guy comes sprinted through, not even holding a shotgun, by the way. This guy turns, and the hat becomes his normal hair, firing. Like, what the fuck, bro? What is this? Okay, bizarre. Yet again, very bizarre. Now, notice, here was Stephen Miller basically like hiding behind his wife, right? The little Nazi Stephen Miller. Look in the background here very closely. Look in the background here. Who's this? Who's this back here, backstage? That's Trump. Trump is staring out. Very strange. Very strange. Trump lurking in the distance in the background there. Okay, how about this one? So here we have somebody calls into Fox and apparently tells a story here about how Caroline Levitt's husband basically says like, hey, you better be careful. It's a dangerous place here tonight. And they said this before the shooting. Listen to this. And then watch what happens next too, by the way. Here we go.
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me. And, right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened. And then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV. You do a great job. You need to be very safe.
Why the fuck would you say that? You need to be very safe? Why would you say that? What a weird thing to say at a White House Correspondents' Dinner event. What the fuck?
Watch you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some...
I love this clip. This one's the best one.
Call drop, bro. The call dropped. Oh, then he looked around the room and he said, there are some, and boom, the call fucking dropped. Are you fucking kidding me? Now watch the Fox News person try to cover it up.
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way.
No shot. This happens all the time. Somebody says that somebody whispered to them that there was something violent about to happen, and there was an attempted shooting. They knew in advance. We don't know how they knew in advance. They're in the middle of telling that story, and then the call drops out of nowhere. Bro, this is totally normal, bro.
Phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time. I did want to add this while we have...
Oh, my word. Who are they kidding, bro? Who are they kidding? Okay, so then Trump, afterwards, after this happens, all of a sudden he puts on the, serious person hat, and he says, in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our differences peacefully. Trump is saying, everybody calm down out there. We need to be peaceful. We need to resolve stuff peacefully. The same guy who just the other week said, an entire civilization will die tonight. An entire civilization will die. Sounding like a comic book ass villain. Now he's going to lecture us about resolving our differences peacefully. The guy.
Kyle is so dope, dude. He is like, I don't mean he's becoming Alex Jones in a negative way. I'm not saying, well, this video, he is leaning into the conspiracy a little bit. But I mean, like, as far as his like on-camera presence, which I have tremendous respect for Alex Jones for. This is the one thing that I think Alex Jones is brilliant at, is like being an incredible entertainer. Kyle is officially like becoming that guy. Not even awesome. I'm not even talking about like conspiracy theories or like a dangerous force or anything like that. I just mean like as far as like being able to deliver an entertaining story about like ongoing events in a way that's convincing, but more importantly, entertaining. He's on that. He's on that tip.
Who massacred this precious little boy in Iran. This precious little boy was murdered by Donald Trump. We're supposed to listen to him lecture us about resolving our differences peacefully. A guy who triple tapped a little girl's elementary school and bombed hospitals and bombed bridges and bombed power plants and went after civilian infrastructure left and right. We're supposed to listen to a lecture from him about resolving our differences peacefully. Go fuck yourself, son. Go fuck yourself. Okay, now here's Trump. Here's the little speech he gave, which cut off the playoff game, which I'm still furious about. And listen to, he can't help himself. Listen to who he compares himself to here.
Why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations. And I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look.
Dude, I love that, man. That was such a... Trump was on a different level that night and the day after. He had some really great Trump quotes that you haven't really heard in a minute. Like, no new Trump quotes have actually entered the ether in a while because his brain is so doo-doo. I've studied assassinations is awesome. That is prime Trump. I've studied assassinations. People only want to kill people that are impactful. You're the president, man. What are you saying? It's just such a dumb guy thing to say, and I love that.
The people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this, where they got them.
Oh, my word. Yeah, you know, like Abraham.
You see, if Abraham Lincoln had a ballroom, he would not have been killed.
Abraham Lincoln, he freed the slaves. I'm in the Epstein files. You know, Abraham Lincoln, he's basically the greatest American, one of the greatest, if not the greatest American president of all time. I'm the most corrupt person to ever sit in the White House. Yeah, we're very similar. We're very similar. I triple tap girls' schools. You know, I'm humanitarian like that. Bro, I can. And also, again, why are your eyes 90% closed? By the way, here is what happened when Kash Patel delivered his commentary. Watch what happens. Look at Trump's face here.
Those that were there, and if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to the law enforcement of the FBI's Metropolitan Police Department.
Bro, he's out. Look at him. Look at him. He's out.
Thoroughly. That process has already started.
He can barely keep his eyes open.
We're going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf.
Look at this. Bro's hitting REM sleep.
Or anyone else.
To be fair, he's probably thinking about how he was holding Kash Patel's girlfriend's hand. That's probably what he was doing.
That was responsible. We will analyze
Look at
those
this.
that were there.
Look at him. Now, meanwhile, he'll be up at fucking 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. angry tweeting about fucking Bette Midler or Whoopi Goldberg, right? He'll do that. But then during the day, during important meetings, he'll be out, right? And here he is, falling asleep on his feet. On his feet. Okay, here's another. Look at what he looked like when he gave his speech. Bro, he looks like if Miss Doubtfire was a narcoleptic. That's what he looks like here. What on earth am I looking at? His face looks like fucking silly putty or some shit. What is this? Or Play-Doh. He's got Play-Doh on his face. What is this? I can't, man. All right. The next day after this, immediately goes out there and starts, the ballroom. What happened last night is exactly the reason that our great military, Secret Service, law enforcement, and for different reasons, every president for the last 150 years have been demanding that a large, safe, and secure ballroom be built on the grounds of the White House. Again, using it to try to get this ballroom. So strange, so bizarre, so extreme, so weird that every MAG influencer right after the shooting was immediately out there saying we need that ballroom. Also, by the way, take note, he admitted in the past, it's not just about the ballroom. It's about building a nuclear bunker underneath, a state-of-the-art nuclear bunker underneath, which is very weird that Trump and his entire cabinet are living on fucking military bases because they don't want the public to be able to get to them. And Trump is now trying to build a nuclear bunker. It's almost like they're telling you, yeah, we are planning Armageddon. We are planning nuclear annihilation. And our asses are going to go hide, and we're going to protect ourselves from you. That's what's going on here. Okay, how about this? So as I said, a bunch of shots. They did a bunch of shots at the shooter. And the shooter got no shots off, by the way. And like none of the shots hit the shooter. Very weird. Very, very bizarre. Well, the same thing happened previously. A Secret Service agent also missed all 6 shots he fired at Ryan Ruth from point blank range. So this is the guy who tried to kill Trump at one of his golf courses in Florida. Right? Remember this guy, Ryan Ruth? Well, they tried to shoot him too and missed all from point blank range. Same thing that happened here in this scenario. Okay, more. So here is a video.
I'm not going to lie. Virtually all of these, like here, do you want to know, in order of priority, what are some of the more inexplicable things in order of priority. Because like a lot of the stuff, even when he puts it together, I'm actually looking at it right now as like a full package, and it's like, it doesn't do it for me. But as far as the things that are unbelievable and inexplicable, I would go so far as to say the lack of security, especially considering that this was such a high-profile event in the Washington Hilton. Like, that's unbelievable. The fact that this dude was able to bum rush, also unbelievable. But as far as like the Secret Service agents like shooting and failing to actually apprehend or failing to shoot and kill the runner, that's believable. They're incompetent, just like with Ryan Ruth. So that was strange for sure. The ballroom push could be Republicans actively trying to make the most of a situation, never let a crisis go to waste, or it could be a coordinated effort. I mean, it was a coordinated effort, but I'm saying like, or it lends itself to the whole, this was a fake plot, conspiracy. But overall, by and large, I think it's just a radical centrist liberal guy who got so mad at Trump for being a shithead, who thinks if you kill Trump, you all of a sudden like fix American politics or something. Because he's a liberal.
Of the shooter, Cole Allen. And they say, people thought like, oh, Usha Vance is also in this video. She's not. It's not Usha Vance. She was like literally living in a different state. She had nothing to do with Caltech. So that's incorrect. But very strange. This guy went to Caltech. Very bright person, like very intelligent person. And he's going to walk you through here. This is the kind of stuff he was doing. He was like working on devices to help old people with medical problems. Watch this.
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test run on products that have the potential to enrich the lives of seniors.
See, people thought this was Usha Vance. It's not Usha Vance.
14 different tech startups got to present to over 350 people in the hopes of getting their projects into some sort of senior health facilities.
So this was a brilliant kid. This was somebody who was working on like scientific problems. It's very strange to have somebody like that end up doing something like this. Okay, Roy Jones Jr. says, Cole Allen, the alleged shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, is seen here in the image for Caltech's mechanical engineering major page. Thomas Crooks was featured in a BlackRock video ad while he was a student. Both handpicked directly from
Okay, this doesn't, okay.
CIA Central Casting. All right, look at this. So there you have him right here. Caltech, mechanical and civil engineering. He's right there. Okay, and then here was Thomas Crooks in that BlackRock ad. This one is kind of crazy. According to Cole...
None of these are crazy. These are gimmick accounts. Accounts write different names, like random names and random dates on Twitter. They do it all the time, random predictions, and then they delete everything else. Even if this account didn't do that, like Cole Allen is an unbelievably common name. You just not ready, dude? Okay, so I'm going to stop ruining the fun. I mean, I said this the night of. I feel like it's just no fun. Okay. It's real. It's a real. They got Cole Allen. They spread the clues all around, like this one Groyper account. They spread all the clues around so that we can all figure it out. There's probably an inside guy who was like, oh no, there's going to be another attempted assassination that was foiled years later. So I should just put this government agent who we tapped into 4 years ago. Let's just put his name out there on this random anonymous Groyper profile.
Thomas Allen's LinkedIn. He interned at NASA in 2014. In 2014, NASA published a paper, and Henry Martinez was an author. An ex-user named Henry Martinez, made in 2023, made only a single post on December 21st, 2023. The post simply said, Cole Allen. So here's Henry Martinez, and here's the post that says Cole Allen from December of 2023. And a lot of people are pointing out that this Pepe holding the champagne looks like that picture of Trump, where he's sitting there like looking at Melania as Melania's face is scared. You know, Trump's in his tuxedo, looking at kind of looking in that direction. It kind of looks like this Pepe picture. Very weird, man. Very weird. And then we don't even need to get into this, but then you also have, do you see the banner for this Twitter thing here? Apparently, if you take this and you adjust it in one of the editing programs, it looks like sort of like a modern art piece, but it really is a picture of the Trump shooting. If you change it in editing software, like the core of it is the picture of the Trump shooting.
What?
And you're going, hold on, wait a second. The timeline here doesn't.
Yeah, that's new. That wasn't the case. They probably added that after the fact or something. If that's even real at all. I don't even think that was the actual banner when we looked at Henry Martinez's account.
To match up. How the fuck does he have that in it? Very strange, very bizarre stuff. I don't know what to make of it. What I do know is it's all very weird, y'all. It's all very weird. And the fact of the matter is, I think we're at a point now where, sort of like with the JFK assassination, the majority of Americans think think that it wasn't the official story, right? It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter. There's elements of that we don't know, and Americans know there's elements of that we don't know. Whether it's the mafia being involved, or the Soviet Union being involved, or the CIA being involved, or Lyndon Johnson being involved. There's all these different conspiracies. People know that the official story is not real. By the same token, we're now at that place when it comes to the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting. We're now, even conservative Republicans are kind of leading the charge and going, yeah, that doesn't make much sense. That doesn't fucking add up. That doesn't add up at all, bro. And so, Tim Dillon went on a rant the other day about how, hey, there's a lot of questions there that are weird, that are bizarre, that don't make sense. Like, why was Joe Kent came out and said, I was blocked from investigating that. That's weird. Why was I blocked from investigating that? Why does that video go super viral all the time of them moving the photographers into place as the shooting's happening? They lower the flag and Trump gets up and puts his hands up and says, fight, 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 which you would never do if you're Secret Service. You're going to try to cover him completely to make sure the shots don't continue to potentially hit him, right? There's no fucking scar there. Like, don't even get me started, right? But now I think the majority position is going to be skeptical of what happened in Butler. And then this one here, look, at a time when his approval rating is 33%, he knows everybody hates him. He knows Republicans are barbecue chicken for the midterms. Like, do I put it by them to lie about this? Do I put it by them to fucking, create something like this? I absolutely do not. Now, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I know that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I think everybody knows that there's a lot of unanswered questions about this. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, but this is some wild stuff, man.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like.
Cause on his Candace shit. I mean, have fun. Have fun with it. I think it's good to have fun. My attitude on this is live and let live. Now, the reason why I say this is because the Republicans have trafficked in dangerous conspiracy theories, hateful conspiracy theories that immediately put the blame randomly on trans people, Antifa, the left, broadly, over and over again in the aftermath of shootings that have taken place. Sometimes shootings that are conducted by members of the right. Famously in the case of the Minneapolis, Minnesota shooter that ended up killing the Democratic state legislators. Republicans straight up turned around and were like, oh, no, this is a Tim Walz fan. Ridiculous. Tim Walz was actually on the target list, right? So it is really silly for me to sit here and actually get in the way of a faucet of conspiracy coming from the liberal side. If you ask me what my opinion is, I'll always tell you the truth. But on the other hand, because conspiracy theories are so effective in undermining whatever conspiracy the right is trying to put together, trying to do first to market misinformation, low-key, I've decided to tactically step out of the way when liberals engage in this kind of stuff. I saw this with Candace Owens. I saw this with Candace Owens and the Israel conspiracy with Charlie Kirk's assassination. Republicans were much more organized and demonstrated adequate messaging discipline in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were very quick to say, oh, this is transgender Antifa. They only had to dial it back a little bit when they found out that the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, was a white boy from a Mormon family, a good family, right? At which point they started saying, oh, pray for the shooter, right? I mean, pray for his soul, whatever. However, if it wasn't for Candace Owens coming out and just dropping that Israel bomb, I think we would probably be in a different media environment right now. She came in with that nuclear bomb, turning around and saying it was Israel, and my God, it shocked the world. I mean, it got Benjamin Netanyahu to respond to it, which made it only worse. There was already so much anti-Israel energy in the space, even amongst Republicans, and it totally destroyed whatever narrative building campaign that the Republicans had in mind, whatever goal they had in mind to turn Charlie Kirk into a martyr and maybe even punish the left for it. They did not play their hands correctly there. Republicans wanted to come after everyone on the left, saying, oh, if you say something mean about our big, beautiful president, that means you want him dead. You're actively, we should treat every criticism of the president as incitement. But liberals had a very different mentality. They came in hot and they said, nope, this is a staged assassination. Yet again, there goes the unpopular president staging a fake assassination attempt so that he can desperately stop his hemorrhaging approval ratings and, dare I say, use this as an opportunity to build a ballroom. That cut away at all the Republican mania. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, I cover misinformation. I go through it with a fine-tooth comb. and I try to correct the record to the best of my ability. But sometimes, if the people are giving you a gift, you just got to let it happen. So that's the way I treat a lot of these conspiracy theories coming from the liberal side. I still worry that we have no consensus reality. I worry about what that will do to American civilization, our society in general. But also at the same time, I'm not going to be super aggressive in correcting the record. Whenever I hear liberals say it's fake, I'll probably entertain it a little bit. Be like, yeah, I'll egg it on. That's my unbelievably transparent and honest assessment.